oversee your client services team here at MoreVisibility. I'm joined by my colleague, Max Braglia, who is my counterpart overseeing the Department of Interactive Advertising.
Hello, Fiorella.
So today we want to chat about attribution, specifically how Google Ads is moving away from last click. So historically, the standard for attribution from Google Ads has been last click attribution. So let's pretend that we are going on vacation and starting the process of a research. I might start my search with best tropical vacation. From there, I will search for Bahama accommodations. My third search might be bed and breakfast in Bahamas. And then finally, I will have narrowed it down to the particular accommodation that I want to stay at, which will lead me to type in Paradise Bay, Bahamas. So it took me 4 searches over the course of a couple days to finally convert and create the booking. So in this last click attribution model, which was traditionally used by Google Ads, only that last keyword, Paradise Bay, Bahama, would have gotten the credit for the booking or the attribution. The other 3 keywords that helped in that process wouldn't have gotten any of the credit. So now we want to talk a little bit about the new model for attribution that Google Ads is offering.
Yes, Fiorella, and this is really, in terms of keyword search, a revolution. Why? Because a model that's different than last click will allow advertisers to find keywords that now are untapped as a resource for creating conversions. This means, again, to your example, when we have those keywords that we bid on and we take into consideration all those 4 queries, the Google Ads interface will only show and give the conversion credit to the last keyword that was used. But with the new model, and there are many different models in terms of attribution, the model that we have been tested and we like, and it's also best practices as per Google, is called position-based model in terms of attribution. And what this does, in the case of your example, is to give credit to each touch point and each keyword along the path to conversion. It's not the same credit, it's a different type of credit, because the first click and the last click obviously are more important than the others. But however, every single touch point will get some sort of credit. This is very important because when you think about it, Fiorella, when we look at the report and we see keywords that in the past might not have gotten any advertising budget because historically never showed conversions, now we are seeing conversion. And what's gonna really be interesting is that we are going to start seeing conversion in portions. So you're going to see like a conversion when you look at the keyword that says 0.40 or 0.15. And as the conversions increase, you're going to have more visibility, no pun intended, on the actual activity of the keywords and what keywords are really driving the conversion.
So really, the changes in attribution and all the different models that Google Ads is offering, specifically also the position-based attribution model, is going to allow the keywords, the guys in the back doing all the heavy lifting to get some of that credit. Whereas before, it was really that last keyword that really got all of the attention, all of the focus. So from a reporting perspective, what may you expect some of these changes in attribution to, how will it impact your report? So generally, if you are estimating that your Google Ads investment is going to give you, let's say, 50 bookings if you are this property, you're not going to see a drastic change in performance. Mm-hmm. It's more so going to be a reallocation of what keywords are getting that credit. So let's say for those 50 bookings, you used to get, 80% were your branding keywords or that last search. What you may see now, going back to that example of doing the research for vacation, which I always like to imagine I'm in the middle of doing. So when we look at best tropical vacation, to Max's point, it's going to be that first search that gets a pretty significant piece of that overall credit. Then your other 2 key phrases in the middle, your searches are going to get a smaller portion. And then that last keyword in the search is going to again get a pretty heavy weight of their overall credit. rounding out to 100% or one complete conversion. So what will be interesting in your reports or in Google Ads if you're logging in is that you'll start to see key phrases with a fraction of a conversion. That means that they were a partial piece of an overall conversion path. So while the performance shouldn't drastically change in theory, one way that it can change is if you start to use this new data to make really smart optimization decisions and therefore reallocations of your budget, which is really where Max and his team come in, being empowered by this information to be able to do even better of a job with optimization.
Absolutely. And we started that process already for many of our clients, where historically we had keywords that were limited by budget because, again, we never saw real conversions coming in based on the last click attribution model. But when we switched the model, now we understand that by increasing the budget for some of the keywords that are part of the conversion and the path to conversion, now we are seeing that the overall numbers of conversion over the course of time start to increase. So it's really like a sort of a rinse and repeat work of optimization in terms of understanding what keywords are part of the conversion journey, if you will, and then understanding what keywords need to be, maximized in terms of budget in order then to really drive and amplify the conversion at large.
And something we've seen that's really interesting for the clients that we've already transitioned to position-based attribution model is the shift in the keywords are getting the credit, where we're starting to see more of the credit be shifted towards your more generic key phrases, so more so your best tropical vacations or hotels in the Bahamas, as opposed to those branded searches. It doesn't mean that the branded searches are not absolutely an important part of the strategy. It just means that these key phrases on the more general side are now getting some of the credit that they should have.
Absolutely. And one last thing is, so this only applies to keyword search. It does not apply to display or YouTube campaigns. So the no last click attribution in the end is really a way for advertisers to truly understand what's working and what's not working in terms of the keywords that really should be in the account and should have most of the budget and shouldn't be limited by that budget because they are the keywords that are part of the conversion journey and part of conversion and results that we are seeing for advertisers.
So we hope this quick overview of the attribution changes in Google Ads was helpful. If you have any questions or any ideas for additional topics you would like us to cover, please reach out to info@morevisibility.com.